Come on now.
Come
Bam!
on now.
Come on now. Listen, I've been ready all freaking week, everybody.
He's been jumping around waiting to start this show for 30 minutes.
Come on, man. I've been just jonesing to get this show started because today we are talking about the marine series. We're going to actually get some water and plumb this tank and get ready.
Yeah, we're going to show you guys how easy it is to set up this Marine 45.2. We're setting it up as a Zoanthid tank.
That's awesome.
Such a great tank, easy to set up. And also we're going to touch on the Frag 80.4 that we touched on a few weeks ago to kind of show you guys what's going on there. Yeah. And also what's really cool about that is I posted a link in the comments for the AI, the Aqualumination blueprint for that lighting schedule on the Frag 80.4.
It's doing so well. That tank is just really taking off. So we want to show you guys that. We'll cut over to that during this build as we fill up the tank. But you can see here we got the Marine 45.2 primed and ready to go, sitting right next to our Pro tank. Once again, these tanks are all in stock, ready to go.
Yep. You can stop by your local retailer. If they don't have it, ask them to pick it up.
Yeah.
You can go to most major online retailers, saltwateraquarium.com, Triquatics, and Marine Depot, as well as waterboxaquariums.com. If you hop over to our website, there's a dealer locator. You can find our existing dealers. And let's talk about what we're going to show these guys today on the 45.2.
Yeah, so we'll do an overview of the tanks. You can kind of see how the Marine series is set up. We're actually going to go through the plumbing, right? We're going to actually show you how the plumbing hooks up. We're going to install the pumps today, get all our lines run. Jess is over there. She's going to do the sand, the rock. We've got the salt water made. We've got the light on there. We are pretty much going to fire this tank up today.
So basically, you get the tank, you get it delivered, you get the tank on the stand. Today, we're going to show them how easy it is to get water in the thing.
Yeah, love it.
I mean,
this is awesome.
What I love is we're actually going to plumb this thing live, right?
Live.
We're plumbing this thing live. So
Come on.
One of the things that I love about these tanks is how easy it is to plumb the system. When I was a newbie, I had no idea what I was doing. I bought my first aquarium. I'm like, I've never plumbed anything before. I have no idea what to do with this. Yeah. Ours is 3 connections and you're done.
It's so easy, and we're going to show you how easy it is. Also, if you have any questions, comments, definitely share the stream, everybody. You know, we should probably give a couple shirts out or whatever for participation, right?
Yes. How about this? The first 3 people to share the stream and say, I love Waterbox, will give you a free Waterbox t-shirt.
Come on now, listen. It's dropping bombs up in this place.
I didn't even plan that.
Didn't even plan it.
That was
off the fly. We're throwing away t-shirts here. Get one now. Come on, everybody. So we are gonna. I think we should dive in, man. Because also stay with us. We're gonna do Fish of the Week later.
Yeah, at the end of the show, so stay tuned because we got a really cool Fish of the Week that we're gonna show you guys.
Dude, it's gonna
we'll do a little Q&A after we set up the tank, so you guys can really get the most out of these live streams.
I've been ready all morning to set up this tank because I love setting up aquariums. So let's go out into the lobby. Let's go. Come on.
Let's roll.
Come on now, Jess. Where are you?
I'm here. I'm ready. Let's set it up.
Come on now,
This
Jess.
is one of the most fun things to do with a tank is getting it up and running, getting the rock in the water, and bringing it to life. So I'm excited. This is my favorite to set up new tanks. The Marine is such a cool series too, so this will be our first one set up in the office. Love it.
Good stuff, you guys. If you guys have questions, post them below after we get this tank set
up.
Oh
God, Aminos. Aminos.
First thing you gotta do, Rich. I mean, before you start plumbing a tank and getting things ready, man, you gotta get jazzed up. Now, come on.
So if you guys have questions, post them below. Since this is a pretty in-depth installation, we'll touch on those questions after you guys are done.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
So what do we got here? Let's do a quick overview, Jess, of what they're looking at.
So with the Marine series, this is our 45.2. This one here, you've got your filter socks with the removable holder on each side here. As always with our systems, full back glass. So you can clean it of the core line, scrape it. It's not going to scratch like your acrylic. We have our plumbing. The great thing about the Marine series is it is got the plumbing to go down to a sump, lots of extra water volume, lots of extra space for your equipment. We're going to be able to put a skimmer on here, an auto top off on here, have a nice big return pump for plenty of flow. So we've got the tank here, we've got our big sump, we're going to plumb it up, takes super fast. We'll see how quick and easy it is to plumb these.
Yeah, so so this is very similar to the all-in-one series that we have, but what it does is we've upgraded it so that now you can add a remote filtration underneath. So it gives you those options like
You're
you
not
said.
seeing that skimmer sitting at the back.
Right.
You know, topping off for an all-in-one can be a little bit harder because it evaporates pretty quickly and you have to kind of manually do it or have like a system off to the side. So with the sump, we're adding water volume, and then we're gonna be able to put up on a Nio skimmer on here. Like, this tank's gonna be rocking.
Awesome. So guys, you'll see like all the plumbing has already been pre-cut, pre-assembled, comes with the gaskets ready to go. There's no cutting, no measuring. Literally, it's like plug and play.
We're gonna show them how quick and
We're
easy
gonna
it
show
is.
you. This is so awesome. So so what we're gonna do is we have the Nios pump, right? The Viper pump that we're going to use today. Great pump, AC pump, really, really nice. This is what we're going to use to power this tank. Very quiet. We need to put the little rubber feet on here, Jess, and then get this all going.
Keep it all down here.
But you can see the Viper pump, that great company. Now you're going to have to buy what do you call it, the adapter.
A little adapter for the
It's like
tubing.
a male adapter. So what happens is this goes right onto, just screws right onto the pump. But you'll need to go ahead and get this piece because it's not included with the pump when you buy it.
Right, it's for the
So-
3/4 inch tubing, so
Yeah.
it's an easy, quick fix.
Just goes right
put
on
it
there.
onto
It's
there.
Pick it up at any hardware store.
Any
Where'd you
hardware
pick
store.
that up, Dean? Like True Value?
Yeah,
or
True
something?
Value down the street.
Yep.
It was like, 50 cents or something. So, really great. So, anybody have any questions, comments?
A lot of people that love Waterbox in
Come
here.
on, dude.
You know, it's
Don't
as
we
if
all?
I told them to say that or something.
What?
Come on.
I certainly
This is
didn't do that.
They're hoping that's more than just the first three
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
So also, tell them about this cabinet. I mean, this cabinet is super quality. I mean, it's just...
yeah, it's got all the same features as our larger cabinets with the Reef and the Pro. So you've got your push pin closer here, 3 hinges. Whoop, lost a foot.
Lost a little foot, that's right.
And one of the nicest features with this is soft close hinges, just like with our other ones. So you're not slamming your cabinet. Slamming the cabinet, it does scare your fish, and it's just nice to have that nice quiet. The system runs quiet, your cabinet's gonna close quiet. This is, laminated hardwood, and it's got plenty of room with this nice big sump in here. I've seen people mount stuff on the inside for more equipment.
The
And
key word there you said, Jess, was the hardwood. So we use plywood on all of our cabinets. No MDF.
no MDF.
Yep.
MDF it gets a little bit wet, and it's just basically just crumbling.
Yeah, it does
So
not handle water very well.
no, this cabinet's gonna last you a really long time. Super high quality, and the features that you get with all your Waterbox cabinets.
So here you go, Jess. This is the feeder have been on there. That's going to go in.
Got Sean Hale with us, giving a shout out to Aquashella,
Come on now.
which is coming up March 30th and 31st in Dallas. So if you
Almost
are
time.
close to Dallas, if you're not,
Yes.
hop on a plane,
Go
to
travel.
aquashella.com and
Dude, I'm
make an
telling you.
appearance because it's going to be a really good show. Waterbox will be there.
Yes, yes.
So Dean's got the internal parts that's going to go into the back filter area of the marine, and we have the pipes here down below. So what it is, it's really essentially we're just screwing each end together
Right.
for each
There's-
pipe, and that's all we're going to have to do.
There's two drains, right? So we've got two drains, pipes that kind of look like this. This is the inside, so you can see what it's going to look like, and then this, like this. So this is inside this box. It's all hidden. So the main force, the quiet flow drain here, the water's going to flow down this pipe, and this is a backup emergency pipe, right? So in case for any reason this thing clogs or what have you, it'll cascade into here as a secondary.
It's a great feature. Most of your smaller tanks that you find on the market or plum tanks don't have that backup drain. So, I mean, I've had snails or things get wrapped around the tanks overflowing. It's also nice because if your main drain does get clogged and your emergency drain goes into use, it'll actually be really loud. It'll alert you. So if your system's running loud, it usually means that secondary drain's being used when
Correct.
Something is going on. And down below with your main drain, you've got your adjustment valve so that this runs completely silent like every Waterbox.
Correct. All right, can you get that? We're going to do the return line first there.
take a couple questions while you guys are doing this.
So the turn line.
Rob's
super simple
asking,
here.
can you change the sides of the door that the door opens on the cabinet? That's a no, because the holes are pre-drilled on all our cabinets, so it'd have to open up the same way that we designed it.
So I can show you. So it comes with the barb fitting, glued in place. Always with anytime you're plumbing a tank, you do have gaskets that are seated in here. So when you're taking the stuff out of the box or moving around, make sure that your gaskets stay in place, or you have them, or go find them, because if this is not in place, it will leak. So this is easy. Dean's just holding return pipe here. You're just twisting it on.
It's that easy.
So you're telling me all you have to do to plumb this thing is screw a couple
Yeah, you don't even
unions
need-
together?
You turn your hand a little bit, and you're pretty much plumbed.
No pliers.
And you're just hand tightening to where
Hand tighten.
it's
That's it.
hand tighten. There is a gasket on the other side,
Done.
so that's creating your water seal.
Done.
So you don't have to take 14 trips to Home Depot.
Oh my goodness.
And those days are long gone.
Come on now, everybody.
I've had a
listen,
lot
come
of
on.
nightmares with plumbing on my own, and this is just so much easier. So he's going to put the main one in. Your main drain is the one that is going to have your valve to adjust your flow. And these do have unions on them too, so you can quick disconnect your plumbing if you ever needed to, and it would not interfere with your overflow box and having to empty it. So we're going to screw that in. You see there's
You
a
hold
gap.
it. I'll tighten it from my end.
Okay.
Boom. Just like that.
So we got a couple good questions here. Omega's asking, why do you use metric
Now
plumbing?
turn yours just just to make sure it's tight.
Yeah, that's tight. Putting the
Bam! Look at that.
O-ring in that fill out. Like I said, be very cautious of those O-rings. Dropping like that.
So guys, Omega's asking, why do you use metric plumbing? It makes it more difficult for advanced custom use of your tanks. That's a pretty straightforward, blunt answer. It's because the America is the only one that doesn't use metric. So if we were to make it, imperial plumbing, the rest of the world would then have to adapt, because Waterbox is an international brand. So unfortunately, it just makes more sense to use metric.
For sure. And we're trying to do the ease of, a plug and play. You're not having to modify anything.
Right, and if you want to do that, that's kind of up to you. We have a lot of people that do that.
Yeah, that's more
You don't
advanced.
have to use this plumbing kit. If you want to go more advanced, you can, but that's kind of on your own accord.
Exactly.
All right, so the main
Mark
one
asked
is
what
in.
model we're setting up. It's the Marine 45.2.
All right, Jess, whenever you're ready. Now this is the emergency drain we're hooking up. Boom, boom, boom.
So again, if you guys have questions, post them below. If I don't get to them now, I will
hold
get
it?
to them during
Yep.
our Q&A after.
Just hand tighten, everybody.
Just like that. Simple. Just like that.
Yeah, tighten up your unions, make sure they're good. One note I will say, anyone who's installing this, is these pipe pieces down below this coupler are removable. So and put those on before you put this in this back chamber, as it is a tighter fit to plan and put them on later. So just something that keep in mind here. And just like that, I mean, he's
at that.
putting on the top and then your valves, and that was plumbing and marine.
Done.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
just, I didn't time that, but I would say less than 5 minutes, you just plumbed a reef tank.
That's it.
And honestly, if you were by yourself, if this was pulled out from the wall a little bit, because of your access from the cabinet down below,
You could,
you
yeah.
can actually do this completely by yourself. You don't need a second person to plumb this, because you can have access to all these pieces in that back cutout of the cabinet. So
Love
Yeah.
it. Love
you
it.
don't even have to have two people to do this.
Perfect. So the chamber in the front, everybody, if they're asking, that's our ATO chamber, right?
Yes.
So your automatic top-off chamber. So for evaporation water, we're putting plain RO fresh water in this first chamber to help replenish that evaporation. So
Yeah, so your water's coming in from your overflow down into this
The
drain
back.
section.
Yep.
It's already gone through the filter socks up in the back of the tank. You've got a baffle to break up some of the turbulence and bubbles. And you have this big area is for your protein skimmer. Like it's a very large area for a skimmer on this size tank, which is great. Reactor, skimmer, you know, whatever you want to use in here. Then it does actually go through your sponge and baffles to your return pump chamber back here, which is plenty big to fit almost any model of pump that you would want to put in. And you have this huge ATO reservoir. Like it is, gives you so much options for this tank.
Right, so we need to refresh everybody on what we're doing with this Marine 45.2. We are setting this up as a Zoanthid species tank only. I mean, it's a really neat concept. So we're only going to put Zoanthid colonies in this tank. We're going to probably put some jawfish we talked about in there, maybe Bengai cardinals, and just some small kind of assessors and stuff like that we're going to put in here. But it's going to be a real big pops of color on here. They're real easy to take care of, those Zoanthid corals. So this is perfect. I mean, we're going to show you, you're going to have a beautiful reef tank.
This is going to be one of my favorite tanks just because there's so much variety. They're so colorful. Like I said, they're easy to keep, and you can, you know, especially with a nice prime light, you can really blast those colors that they come in.
All right, let's keep firing this sucker up. Now also, guys, the socks, if you notice the socks aren't in the sump, but there are 2 socks in the back of the tank. So another great feature. So instead of bending over to get the socks out like this, some people like that easy access. It's just right up top.
Yeah, Dean, and also with this size tank, it saves a lot of space in the sump for skimmers and reactors and things like that.
Here's another thing, you know, I know it's crazy, but you don't have to use these socks. So if you took these socks out, pretty much, guys, you've got a Triton system.
This is
you know what I mean? Everybody's like wanting on the Triton craze. Hey, here's your Triton tank. Just pull the socks out. The full sump's ready to go. I mean, dude, you're ready to rock.
Plenty of room in there.
So,
sure. All right,
really great.
Get the pump on and in place so we can start getting the goodies into the tank.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to fire up. So listen, we have the Carib Sea sand here. We're using the Fiji pink from Carib Sea. Really, really nice. It's got live bacteria on it, packed in water, ready to go. So it will help get that cycle going really fast. So we're gonna put a pretty good deep sand bed in this tank, a little bit deeper than we usually do, Rich, because of those jawfish. So the jawfish kind of bury and they make little holes in the sand with little rubble, and they live inside these little canyons that they build. We also have Ehine heater we're going to be putting on this bad boy today. 100 watts, perfect size for this tank. Come on now, got to maintain your temperature. So we also got the water.
Can't overlook that temperature.
Come on now. So we have the water, salt water already made, right? So this is the RODI using the Fritz RPM salt in this. We've already got it salted. Jess has prepared this yesterday for us. So we got the water, so it can just go right in. We're using rocks here, so we're using the Marco rocks. Really, really great shapes and sizes. We've got some shelf and some other pieces, a little bit of foundation in there. And because the zoanthids don't grow vertically, so they're gonna grow over the rock structure. So that's gonna be really great. Jess is gonna do the decorating on the tank. It's gonna come out fantastic.
Alex is asking, are the filter socks 2.75 on this tank? Yes, on all of the Marine series, they're all 2.75 inch.
So this tank
which are only available from Waterbox.
So we make this tank in an 18-inch version, all the way up to a 36-inch version, which is really fantastic. So if you're kind of wanting a little bit smaller than this, this is the second size in the series of the Marine. Really, really great. Now, also, this is the Prime HD light, if anybody's asking, with the gooseneck mount on it. This is the Plus edition of the Marine. So this is the 45.2 Marine Plus edition. So it's a really, really great light. This thing's going to keep whatever we want in this thing. I mean, it's
right. Yeah, it's the perfect amount of light for that tank.
Perfect.
It's controllable through the My AI app. And here coming soon, once we get this tank running, we'll post the what we call the Waterbox blueprint for our lighting schedule. We will also have, we'll be covering the Frag 80.4 here shortly, and we have a blueprint that I posted right before we went live. If you want to download the lighting schedule that we're using on our Frag 80.4.
Correct. So.
You can see a nice reflection of 80.4.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So we got the This is our lobby. Also, we got the big pro tank here next to us. Awesome tank, guys. Look at that thing. 6 feet of pure awesomeness.
It's gonna be a lobby full of beautiful reef tanks.
Yeah, man, it's awesome.
They're
So,
everywhere.
all right, so Jess got this here. We got the
Yeah,
And
good
what
put the
we're
pump
looking
in
at
place.
here, guys, is the Frag
Okay.
80.4, which
What's
we're going to
next?
cover here in a little bit.
That's it for now.
Once Dean
Okay.
starts filling this tank
so
up, we're
we
going
need
to.
some sand, rocks, right?
Yeah, dump the sand on him first.
Yeah.
Do some aquascape and start putting
All
some
right, you guys
water
are at 22 minutes. Well, a little bit of time in the beginning, but we're
Yeah.
22 minutes to set this tank up. As you can see, we're breezing through it. We've done this a few times, but
That's with
it
less
kinda
chit chatting and kind of
chit-chatting.
showing stuff.
A lot of chit chatting.
kind of goes to show you the initial setup is pretty easy, especially on these marine series. Not much to it.
So yeah, like as we were saying is, generally on this size tank, probably 1 bag of sand would be plenty in a general reef tank. But since we do want to do the jawfish, we do want to go for a much deeper sand bed. So we're going to go with the 2 bags just to give a thicker.
Yeah. There you go.
And there's a little baggie
Yeah, pull that out there.
clarifier that shows up in here.
So if you guys are interested in the sand we're using, it's Carib Sea. You go to caribsea.com. Is this the Fiji Pink,
The
guys?
Fiji Pink, yes, it is.
Probably their most popular saltwater sand. Live sand, so it's already got a bunch of beneficial bacteria in it. It's good stuff.
It's a good kickstart for getting your tank going, especially since we use the marker rock, which is dry. So this gives some extra bacteria, and then we'll add a bacteria at the end as well.
Bam, look at that.
All right.
Come on, that's like being at the beach.
Now the live sand, do go looking for the little bag that comes in here. Otherwise it comes floating out randomly later if it's buried under it. And this is like a little clarifier that they put with it to help clear it up a little bit faster.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You see, this will give us a nice deep sand bed.
There you go, look at that.
Those jawfish are going to be so happy.
Jess is playing in the sand today, come on.
It's a sandbox.
Sandbox, playing in the
We're going to do a
sandbox.
water box beach here.
Ba-doom, come on now. Playing in the sandbox.
If you guys have any questions, post them below. If I don't get to them now, we'll do a little Q&A here after we're done setting up the tank.
So yeah, just quick even it out. It'll sink down whenever.
All right, I'm gonna give, Jess is gonna do the decorating on this one.
You want to close this door so you can get out of the way a little bit.
There we go. Dude, who loves setting up fish tanks? I know whoever's
That's
watching
one of the
this.
best parts of the tank, I think.
Listen, the setup is some of the funnest parts. I mean, it's really great. So we also like to lay out the rock, right? See what we're working with.
Get an idea. And
Yeah,
also
get an
it'll
idea.
vary a lot on like how you want to set up based upon what kind of corals you want to keep and what kind of fish you want to keep. Like this one here, because it's zoos, they're going to just coat the rock. So we're going to go with something maybe a little bit higher and shelfier versus if we were doing something that grew taller or wavy like frog spawns and torches and stuff. So, we're going to kind of be able to envision where we want it to go. And then also with the jawfish to make sure that we have plenty of room for them.
All right, make it look hot, Jess. Come on now.
Oh no, no pressure.
No pressure.
A lot of times I actually
Live.
like stage it out first.
Yeah.
I haven't staged this out, so this is going to be completely,
Live.
completely winging it here.
Going to be in Orlando this summer. Do you guys have a store there or a showroom that the public can visit? We don't, but we do have our offices. You're welcome to schedule an appointment and stop by.
Sure.
But most importantly, if you have a local retailer that doesn't carry Waterbox, tell them they should.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, if you're coming to Orlando, Reefapalooza, we're going to be there. Macna, we're going to be there. Aquashella, man, that's fire is coming literally next month. Super pumped
Yes.
up about that, man. There's going to be
Yep.
so many giveaways and cool things going on at that show.
With this,
really great.
because we're going to have the jawfish in there and they're going to be digging a lot and making sure that those bottom pieces are buried in the sand pretty well. Otherwise, you may have your jawfish deciding to go toppling some of your rock
Yeah.
as you go through.
Good question. You guys don't put the rock first, then the sand. I'm assuming that you didn't do that this time because the sand bed's so deep. You'd lose.
Correct.
You'd lose most of your rock to that
Yeah,
sand.
it would definitely, that's a deep sand bed we got on that thing.
Yeah.
But
And
normally
it'll
we
settle
do,
in too.
Normally we do put the rocks flat on the glass. But I said it's going to be mostly a Zoanthid tank.
And I mean, there's no wrong or right way as far as that goes with, if you want to put the rock in first or the sand in first. I think a lot of that just comes down with personal preference on when you're setting the tank up too.
Yeah, if you're using the reef foundation, it is, real nice to be able to just set those flat on the glass and then build your sand around it. But in this tank, it doesn't make sense to me because the sand bed is so deep, you would bury an entire rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really would. Jess is looking good. Come on now.
Oh.
Look, a little zoo island up at the front.
Speed
Island.
aquascaping. Hey, we have an
Speed.
aquascaping competition happening at Aquashella.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah. Listen, they're going to be doing a
Sponsored
freshwater.
by Waterbox.
They're doing a freshwater aquascape build-off and a saltwater aquascape build-off by huge YouTube
Maybe we need
stars.
to enroll Jess in this.
Dude, I'm gonna
I've aquascaped. Oh my God! If I could count how many tanks that I've
vote for Jess.
I've
for the-
actually done.
yeah, Aquascape challenge.
Aquascape challenge. I don't know. Some of those YouTubers are going to be there. I think they might have it on me quite a bit here.
Are they doing a freshwater and a saltwater?
Yeah, fresh and salt. So it's gonna be just bananas, man.
They have
Total
some really
bananas.
big YouTubers, you might know specifically who, that are going to be competing in this.
Yeah.
I know
DIY
there's one of them
Joey.
is DIY Joey, and one of them's a rematch.
Yeah, it's a total rematch, man. It's
What?
gonna be total-
Uh-oh. The tensions will be high.
Oh yeah. I believe there'll be a trophy be handing out. Come on now.
So let's see here. Chris is asking, will you have the Pro Series at Aquashella? That's a big tank to lug around. The answer
good
to
with it.
that is no, but
No. Oh, that looks great, Jess. I think that's fantastic. So
Lots of surface, goes nice and
Perfect.
high. We'll cover in with the zoos.
Perfect.
Tunnels, good spots, deep sand bed.
there
Look
you
at
go,
that.
just like that.
Look at that.
wow.
Randomly pick some rocks and go with it.
29 minutes.
Come on now, listen. This is ridiculous. Wow.
I
So-
think it turned out nice. I'm telling you, I do really enjoy working with the Marco rock, though. It does make
great.
it really nice to work with those shelf pieces mixed in there. Really helps give you the height and be able to work with, making caves and stuff like that. And the packages that we have on our website that we do for each size tank have a mix of everything. So it's very similar to what you see us doing with all of our systems. You've got shelf, you've got base, you've got the stuff that's a little bit taller. So it lets you really make a nice thing. I've always found, back with Live
Hold that
Rock,
hose so it doesn't-
how hard it was to find any pieces that were flat or really could let you do some nice caves or shelves.
So Jess, while Dean fills this tank up, let's take these viewers over to the Frag 80.4 that we've covered a few weeks ago and kind of show them what we've done, some of the maintenance we're doing, and really just how awesome this tank is.
I think whenever I walk in the door, like this is my favorite
Yeah.
one to look at. I just really love the low profile, and it's like, we've kept it pretty still on the surface. So you've got that really clean
That's
look
my
of the
favorite thing
water
about this is when you
edge.
walk up, you see that top-down
Yeah.
view. You can see, because from the top, coral's colors pop tremendously. And we did a really neat thing with this tank too, is we built the sand up real tall in the back so that we have like a little mangrove forest.
Yeah, and the mangroves gives a little bit of like that depth perception to it towards the back whenever we've mounted the sand. And I'm a short person, so actually to be able to see top down and see the nice colors of
Yeah, I
corals
love it.
is something I never get to do because I'm really short. So this is allowing pretty much everyone to enjoy that top down. And really when you look down on your corals, it's when you get the best color and kind of appreciation. And so this tank, I've really enjoyed kind of getting this tank going. All the corals are so happy. Our Yumas and everything are actually starting to spread already. The lights, the light schedule we have it on is just great, and that's what's on the blueprint.
Yeah, so we actually posted the lighting schedule, the link in these live feeds, so if you want to download the lighting schedule we're using on this frag, you can.
And we kept it really simple with some softies and one or two little LPS corals. And as we keep going, and we actually threw a little bit of dragon's breath in here, which has been doing well. Just it's kind of that lagoon, simple,
real easy to maintain. Which again is, I say it all the time, it's my favorite type of tank. I don't like the real high maintenance stuff. It's
Yeah.
not Some people do love that. And again, what you're looking at here, guys, is the Frag 80.4 Plus Edition. And this includes the mounting arms, the Hydra 26s,
and this is
cabinet
nice
subsystem.
too. I mean, with the cabinets, they're beautiful cabinets. They're the hardwood. They're UV coated. You've got a ton of space off to the side here with the 4-foot cabinets for equipment. We've had people do some really cool control boards and just a lot of room to put your fish stuff, your equipment, and all that. You've got your, dual filter socks, a big area for a skimmer. I mean, that could be skimmer, reactors, and still have plenty of room.
Tons of room, especially for the size. This is 80 gallons total.
Yeah, the sump is huge.
So you have a really big sump in there to do a lot of different stuff.
ATO area. It's, just really easy to work in, plenty of space in the cabinet to maintain everything. And with this one, I mean, we're keeping it on a schedule pretty much every 2 weeks, doing a little bit of a water change.
Keenan, I want to show you something real quick on the stand because we really love our cabinetry. And one of the biggest reasons is we use 3 hinges here that prevents sagging in the doors. It makes it stronger, gives you finer adjustments in the door when you're kind of getting it all leveled up. And we use a really nice PVC coated hinge, which prevents corrosion. So really nice details. The attention to detail in these Waterbox systems is what makes them shine over the competition, I believe.
Yeah, and what you find is, I know a lot of times, like, someone's tank will outlast their cabinet because it falls apart, it's rusting. You're not going to have that with the Waterbox cabinets because they're built to last as long as the tank is going to.
And most importantly, I'll be a broken record, we use all hardwood, so this is really high quality plywood underneath this UV coating, which if it gets wet, it's not going to be a big deal. If you have an MDF stand, like a lot of the other companies, they will collect water and they'll start breaking down over time, and then you have an unstable cabinet.
Yeah, they just basically rot and fall apart at that point. So the 8.4 is doing well. We do a regular water change schedule. Been testing. I mean, the dosing's really basic on this one because it's mostly softies, and just a couple fish for now.
And also, if you guys haven't seen it yet, check out the Aqualumination Nero. We're running that on here. It's really neat pump. I think that thing pushes 3,000 gallons per hour?
It does. Yeah, we have this one running pretty low just because of the type of corals we have in there. But you can see everything's super happy and open. And a lot of times with like leather corals, we have quite a few of them in here. You make sure you have pretty good flow so that they can, basically they clean themselves and don't get bound up and stay closed.
Yeah, so really neat pump. It also connects. So with this Plus Edition, you'll have your lights under the My AI app, and you'll also have your Nero pump. So easy to control, super easy to set up. It's just a win-win all around when you're looking at equipment. Plus, Aqualumination is a U.S. company. All those products are made here in the United States. USA support behind them, but it's also a global brand which you can buy anywhere.
Yeah.
So. Alrighty, so that, guys, is the Frag 80.4 update. We're going to jump back over to Dean, see how he's doing over here. He's quiet, so
dude, I'm quiet, man. I'm just
making him
I
work.
think you might need to hit some aminos.
Putting him to work.
I'm enjoying the whole process here, filling this sucker up. I mean,
Yeah, and it's filling up pretty much, not being too cloudy, which is nice. So if you really put the water in gentle, cascading down the rocks, it's not going to disturb the sand as much and make it as cloudy. So actually get to see it when it's up and running.
yeah, I put 2 packs of that little clarifier that Carib Sea sends with everything. Also, we're
And
going
the dual
to
filter socks will polish off.
We're
the
going to
rest.
be cycling the tank also with Fritz Turbo Start. So it has to be refrigerated. So we're going to be using this because you got to seed this rock, right? Because there's no bacteria on the rock.
It's usually a good idea to do that because there is no live bacteria.
So you got to at least jam some bacteria in there. So we'll pull that in once everything's fired up. This pump's a little slow that I'm using in this vat here, so it's taking a little bit longer than it could.
Rob's asking how the 100.3 is doing. So Rob, we started that build a long time ago. I'll be honest with you, we moved it. A lot of the corals got moved around.
Yeah.
Because we do a lot of builds.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We do a lot of builds here in the building, so stuff gets moved around a lot. So that tank's actually in Dean's office now, and we're growing out a bunch of anemones.
Yeah, a bunch of anemones in there. So trying to
Yeah,
get
I mean,
them
the
to
clowns
split.
and the enemies made it over with that whenever we moved it to your office. And who knows, maybe we'll do something different with that at some point. But we're always setting up new tanks and doing stuff, so things get...
We kind of moved the livestock
Team's
around.
wants to see the Cube 20. That Cube 20 I think is long gone.
Yeah.
So we're gonna run back through a lot of these different product lines, but we're trying to give you guys a really good overview of the different things that you can do with each of our series, and
For sure.
the videos are always available to go back and watch.
But man, this is a great tank. I mean, also the price point, Rich, on this thing is like, dude, right on the money. I mean, the Marine series is just, for what you get, it's phenomenal.
What does this one retail, Just $9.99?
This one, yeah, and then we're with the plus is like $11.99 or $10.99,
Yeah.
right around there. Yeah.
So about $11.99 for the Plus edition, about $9.99 for the just the tank cabinet reef ready system.
What's going to happen here? Also, this water is going to hit these teeth, right? And it's going to fill up this back chambers, and there's baffles in here. And then once it finally gets high enough, it's going to hit that drain, the main drain, which will then start filling up the bottom sump on it. And then once that's on, man, we'll turn this pump on and
Take it on and let it clear up and
let
run.
it clear up.
But I mean, one of the bonuses of not jetting it too fast with water too is that we're filling it and you can see almost all the rocks still. And it's not getting nearly as cloudy. And
Yeah, and Dean was real careful where he shot the water initially. So
Yeah,
it didn't stir
it
up
hit the
sand.
rock so it kind of doesn't stir up the
cascades down.
sand.
Now, just tell the viewers about how long we're going to wait and what we're going to do before we put corals and fish in.
yeah, the good thing with the Fritz bacteria is it is considered an instant cycle. So, technically, right after you add it, you could start your first fish. I like to play it a little bit safe and not add livestock right away. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to feed this tank a little bit of fish food every day or two for this coming week. And then I think next week they might get a sneak peek into some fish. And then kind of like a weekly addition is a good schedule for a tank, and not to push it too much.
Yeah, especially when we're
fish.
starting it up.
Yeah, so we can do a fish first. Zoos are super easy, so we can do those like the following week. Jawfish are not necessarily sensitive, but I wouldn't put them in as your first choice of fish since we're doing that. And just kind of each week, inverts or corals or, add a fish. But the bacteria is going to help a lot. Like if you didn't add the bacteria, I mean, you'd be probably 3-4 weeks with having it really stabilize and get a good, bacteria colony in there. So, I mean, if we're lucky, maybe next week we'll have a little fishy swimming around in here.
Yeah,
That'd be
awesome.
nice.
Nice addition to the Waterbox headquarters lobby.
I love now walking into here. Now you've got 3 tanks to
come
look
on
out
now,
as soon
listen,
as you
everybody.
walk in.
Hot.
Like, how many more can we jam in
Listen,
up here?
how many tanks do you guys have at home?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
I think at one point I had.
Do you have like a fish room at your house?
Oh God.
Or is it like
I want to say at one point I had everything ranging from like a 10-gallon up to like a 200-gallon, and there's like 7 tanks total.
Oh my God.
And it was eventually it was just too much.
I'm trying to count right now, but I think we have 10 tanks set up here in the headquarters.
It's crazy. Also,
Yeah.
everybody, if anybody's
10
interested,
saltwater tanks, and we're about to have freshwater as
that's
well.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Tune in Friday because we're going to be we're starting our freshwater build on that 48. Oh man.
Yeah, the clear
That's gonna be,
4820.
Yeah, dude, clear 4820.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome. So this thing's filling up. It's hitting the socks. It's going over the baffles.
Yeah, we're starting to get a lot of tanks set up here.
It's like a
Really
little
mini aquarium.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's like a mini
Come
public
feeding
aquarium.
time and maintenance time. I'm like, oh, there are so many.
You stay busy on Fridays.
Yes,
Fridays are our
maintenance
maintenance day. Love that.
So soon we'll start to
So
see
very
it dropping
soon you'll
into
start-
the sump.
It's almost at that drain. There it goes.
So I'd love to hear from you guys because someone posted it. How many tanks do you have in your home?
Yeah.
Post it in the comments. We'd love to see that. 1, that's fine. You got 2. I know people that have 10.
Yeah. How many do you want? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's fine when like you're really into the hobby. Like you end up having a reef tank that's big, a fish only because there's
Yep.
fish that you want to keep, and then always the nano because everyone's got to have a nano. I end up finding a lot of people like have an average of 3 tanks just so they can have a little bit of everything in it.
For sure. So it's filling up. I said it's just a slow pump that's pumping it into the tank here to kind of get started, but
Yeah, it's kind of good though in a way.
kinda
It's not good for how long it's taking us to set it up, but it's good because it's keeping the tank clear. It's not
Yeah.
stirring the water up as much.
so
It's
really
good to see
neat.
kind of how the actual sump fills and
Right.
flows
Now
too.
we're gonna be putting a skimmer on this thing, right? So we got the Nios skimmer that we're gonna be putting on this tank. We've got the ATO system we're gonna be hooking up. So this thing's gonna be, I mean, pretty awesome. I mean,
This is gonna be like an epic marine. Like it's like
It's going to have the AI lighting, the Nio skimmer. It's going to be hooked up.
this is gonna be hooked up, man. For such a small tank, it's gonna look really hot. Man, I'm telling you. We're getting there. We're getting there, everybody.
You're
Patience.
43 minutes.
Come on now, patience.
Total, you know, on this setup, but
I know.
a lot of
His
it's just
hands
filling
about
it
to
with
fall off.
water.
yeah, it's really about a 45 minute,
pump. We'll just say
and
that.
your
Yeah.
pump's up and running.
Yeah, that's good.
We'll get a
But
more
you know what?
powerful pump.
While
for
we're
tank
waiting on
filling.
that, dude, check out that. I love that Christmas tree rock. Look at that. Can you get it? Watch that, guys. I mean, look at that. I'll get him the high. If you zoom in on it, watch what happens. I'll put my hand over it. You ready? Watch this. Look at that. So cool. The colors of that thing is awesome. Just awesome.
Such a neat rock.
Neat rock, man. Called the Christmas Tree Worm Rock. Really, really nice.
If you guys have questions, post them below. I will do my best to get to them. If I don't get to them during the stream, I will get to them after the stream.
Yeah, man. Nobody's even asked me what I'm eating for lunch today. Come on now. I don't know what's going on here.
Someone's
I guess
gotta-
nobody cares. Nobody cares.
How many ounces of aminos do you consume on a daily basis?
Is that a question?
Is that a question? That's not.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, how many?
Can you calculate
I don't know if
that?
I can calculate that.
I don't know. I'm looking at your cup. It looks
Yeah.
about 24. 24 ounces.
Yeah. Get you some aminos.
Pretty sure there's always an amino drink in your hand or in some area of the office.
So another great thing, man, is there's all the levels and the baffles to help keep the bubbles down. You know, really nice. Really, really nice.
Yeah, you've got to have the proper baffle setup in a system because the skimmer is going to naturally put off micro bubbles, and if they're not done properly or placed right, you will get bubbles that are just getting kicked right to your pump.
Right.
And you have this never-ending cycle of micro bubbles in your tank that you just cannot do anything about. So, you know, the proper baffle setup and sump setup and size is really important for that. Like when you look at your tank, you don't want to see little bubbles floating around and stuff.
So we're real close here, Jess. It's at the top of the pump chamber.
Nice. We'll fill it a little bit extra and
Fill a
then
little
throw
bit
it on
extra.
because we'll need that back chamber to fill up.
Right.
Because the water level in our overflow boxes and the marine is all the same. Is the water level is actually going to need to be above your main drain because it is like a pressure drain where it is submerged. And that's also part of how it is silent. So you generally are going to run your water level and you adjust your valve for it. Is going to be right below your secondary drain but above your main one. So you'll need a little bit extra water for the back chamber because it is going to fill up a couple more inches about when it's running now.
Right, so what's going to happen is as when we turn the pump on, that water level in that pump chamber is going to drop, right? Because it's pushing the water up. So we want to make sure that we have enough water in this back chamber that it'll won't run dry on us.
Good time to make sure all your connections are tightened enough that you don't have any like dripping if you didn't connect them properly or tight enough.
Make sure you guys stay tuned because at the end of the stream
You
we're going to
ready?
be doing the fish of the week. So we'll teach you about a.
Yeah, go ahead
Every
and
week
kick
we're
it
going
on.
over a new fish.
And you can pull that out so it doesn't back siphon on us.
Oh, do you want to keep adding water? We'll probably need more. No?
Maybe.
Kicking on
We'll
if you
see.
need it?
We'll
Okay.
see. Let's see what happens. Okay.
And then Nios, we can, the pump, we can always, you know, adjust the flow on it. So,
You know, when I was a young hobbyist, I wish that I had videos like this to help me set up my aquariums, because it was pretty difficult when you didn't have this type of content available to show you. I mean, just this video alone would show a newcomer a lot of stuff that they need to know when they're setting up their tank and getting the water in it.
and every tank, you know, what we're doing on these builds and showing this stuff, it is relatable to most types of tanks and just getting going and, you know, how to set stuff up. So it's nice. I mean, a lot of times you're looking through online and forums and finding all this different, you know, opinions and can't find good videos. So
Dude, look at that.
I love that we do this on all of our tanks so they can physically see it.
Guys, look how easy that was.
Just like that, you have a beautiful
I mean, look at
Marine
this.
45.2 Plus Edition.
And it's quiet already. One
already
little adjustment and it's quiet.
quiet. So, really, really cool. So
And
what
it'll-
happens is that valve, if I close that valve a little bit, it puts back pressure on this back, and this water level is going to come up on this back chamber to help quiet it down even more. So that's how you adjust it. So if somebody's like, hey, my fish tank's kind of making a lot of noise or whatever, just go ahead and fine adjust that bottom valve to get that water level exactly where you want, and it just goes quiet. I mean,
I
really,
like
really
it.
hot.
I love that we can
Dude, love
already
this.
see it clearing up. It's going to be a really good rockscape to do all zoos
gonna
in
be
it. Have some
fantastic.
cute little jawfish sticking their head out of the sand.
Hot, guys.
All right, Dean, so I say we hop back in the studio and we do a little bit of a Q&A here, as well as the fish of the week.
Ooh, fish of the week. I forgot. Come on now. What does everybody think it is?
Ha, we're back.
You need to switch
Just
that
like
camera,
that.
right?
Yeah, I did.
So, what does everybody think the fish of the week is this week?
I didn't know until a little while ago, but I think that we should.
There we go. Listen, also, all these people on YouTube, man. I mean, wow.
Yeah, so
Here.
give a couple
Hop in.
shout outs to Mark, Rob, which joins us a lot, Polistine,
Yeah.
Brian, Ben, Thomas, Alex. Thank you all for joining us. We've had a lot of people in here with us today and a lot of questions. I'm going to try to get to a few of them. I did cover.
They asking also, you know, does the tank come in black cabinet? Absolutely. It comes in black or white, your choice. Still has the same finish and everything on it. But man, the Marine series is just right on the
Patrick
money.
asks, is there a pump in the back chamber? No, on this system, it's in the sump, which we do have an all-in-one version of this tank.
Correct.
That the pump is in the back chamber, but not specifically on this one. Let's see here. Jason's got a Cube 15 arriving tomorrow. Bam!
Come on now. Cube 15, love that tank, man.
Simon's asking, can you get this in Europe? Simon, in literally a couple weeks, yes, you can, because we have our first shipments arriving.
Yeah.
We have a warehouse in Holland, and we'll be shipping out of there very soon.
Yeah, look at that. Dude, that tank is going to be awesome. And we'll probably do an update later today to show you how it clears up so fast. But, man.
Evan says, Jess makes it look so easy. She sure does, because she has done a lot of setups.
Yeah, she's been doing this a long time.
So let's jump over to the fish of the week, Dean.
Fish of the week.
So
Everybody?
I'll let you cover this one, because you know about this fish. I have never kept one of these fish before.
Oh, come on, man. This fish is awesome, man. I love it. The personality of this fish is killer. Bam! Look at that. Longnose Hawkfish. Longnose Hawk. This thing is hot. Man, the coloration on this fish, Rich, it's got the red and white, almost like these stripes and vertical lines and what have you. And he's got that long snout on him. And he perches. He's not very big. I mean, he's kind of small. You know, 1.25 to 4 inch maximum size.
They kind of hang out on the rocks, like
Hang out on the rocks.
like a
yeah,
fish kinda?
like
or the,
typical of a hawkfish, right?
Yeah.
But it's the even on corals, like he'll perch on a coral and just kind of hang out. He's like looking around. He's
Now,
just like.
correct me if I'm wrong. I
Very
know,
cool.
is that because he doesn't have a swim bladder?
That's correct. Yeah. So a lot of the hawkfishes,
Yeah.
you know, they swim and then they come right back down again. So,
Yeah.
but
He
really
doesn't
great.
have that neutral buoyancy like a lot of fish do.
Exactly. So, you know, it could be put into a reef tank. You just got to watch him, right? I mean, he's going to eat some small shrimps, any kind of real small fish. You know, wouldn't be careful with. But I think if you feed him enough with the frozen food and what have you, he's going to be a great addition for your tank. So,
Yeah.
really, really neat.
Good stuff.
Love that guy.
Good stuff.
Come on, man.
So-
Longnose Hawkfish, everybody.
I think that covers everything we're doing today. If you guys love freshwater, you got to tune in for our Freshwater Friday Waterbox Live.
Getting hooked up on some killer driftwood and plants and all kinds of stuff and gravels and stuff. I mean, this thing's going to be an epic build that we're doing with freshwater.
Yeah, if I know you guys,
Definitely.
a lot of you guys are probably marine guys, but I suggest you tune in and just take a look at how cool this freshwater stuff is, because it is beautiful.
Next level stuff, man. Next
Yeah.
level. But we appreciate you sticking with us through this build. I said next week, man, we'll hook up the skimmer. We'll maybe put a fish or two in there and hook up the ATO, and we'll give you an update on everything once again. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on Friday.
See ya.